All right, let's talk about that one part of the civil service exam that everyone seems to dread, the vocabulary section. But what if I told you there's a much better way than just cramming words? We're going to give you a powerful strategy, a real game changer to figure out any question they throw at you. You know that feeling, right? Your heart starts pounding when you see a word you've never, ever seen before. Trust me, you are not alone. It's a huge hurdle for so many people. But don't worry, because we're about to flip the script on how you approach these questions. Look, that old school method of memorizing giant lists of words, it just doesn't work when the pressure's on. It's not reliable. What you really need is a system, a strategy you can count on to decode any tricky question that comes your way. And that system, well, it's called the AKEB method. Seriously, think of it as your secret weapon, your personal toolkit for this exam. It's super simple, incredibly effective, and it's going to completely change the way you look at these vocabulary questions. Okay, so let's break it down. What does AKEB even stand for? It's analyze, keyword, eliminate, and best. So first, you analyze the whole sentence to get the gist. Then you hunt for a keyword or a clue. Next, you eliminate all the choices that are obviously wrong. And finally, you pick the best answer that's left. See? Simple. Now, the real magic of AKEB happens in that keyword step. It's all about becoming a detective, learning how to spot the little clues that are hidden right there in the sentences. So let's go through some of the most common clue types you'll see. First up, we have cause and effect. This one's pretty straightforward. You're just looking for an if this happens, then that happens relationship. You know, one action causes a reaction. Okay, check out this sentence. We need to figure out the word exhausted. Just think about it for a second. What happens to a person when they run a marathon under a very hot sun? All right, time to put AKB into action. Step 1, analyze. Common sense, right? Running in that kind of heat is going to make you super tired. Step 2, keywords. The big clues here are running a marathon and very hot sun. Now for step 3, eliminate. With those keywords, we can immediately cross off energized, that's the total opposite, and nervous just doesn't make any sense here. And here's the final crucial step, picking the best answer. Sure, you'd be tired, you'd probably be thirsty too, but the word exhausted means something more extreme. So, very tired isn't just a good answer, it's the best, most precise choice. That's key. Okay, on to our next clue type, and this one is a big one. It's contrast. This is where you put on your detective hat again and look for those little signal words that tell you an opposite idea is coming. Words like but, however, or on the other hand. Let's look at this example. The word we're solving for is serene. Now, pay close attention because the sentence gives you this massive clue about what serene is not. Did you catch it? That one little word, but, is the key to the whole puzzle. That's our key word. It's a huge flashing sign that says contrast ahead. So we know we're looking for the opposite of loud and stormy. And just like that, we can throw out answers like angry, dangerous, and polluted. They just don't fit. So that brings us to the final step. What's the best opposite of loud and stormy? It has to be peaceful. See? The AKB method works like a charm. It just guides you right to the most logical answer, every time. All right, our third clue type is a little different. It's all about getting a feel for the sentence, you know, the vibe it's giving off. Is it positive? Is it negative? We call this tone, and it can be a super powerful clue. Shouting orders? Insulting staff daily? I mean, come on. Even if you've never heard the word tyrannical in your life, you know it's something bad. The tone here is just dripping with negativity. So when you spot those negative keywords, shouting, insulting, your brain should immediately start looking for a negative answer. And for this one, cruel is a perfect match. A good way to remember it? Think Cruella. It's right there in the name. Okay, so I've walked you through the method. You've seen it in action. Now it's your turn. Let's put AKSB to the test with a quick practice round. Ready? Okay, here we go. The sentence is, the detective admired the criminal's audacity in broad daylight. The word you're trying to figure out is audacity. So take a second, read it over, and start thinking through those AKB steps. What's the context? What's going on here? First things first, let's analyze. We have a criminal doing something and a detective admiring it. Now that's interesting. What kind of quality would make a detective admire a criminal? It's probably not going to be something like stupidity or clumsiness, right? Okay, now let's find that keyword. The biggest clue here is that phrase, in broad daylight. I mean, to commit a crime right out in the open like that takes some serious nerve.
That clue alone should help you eliminate a couple of those choices right off the bat.
And the best choice here is boldness. Now, you might be thinking, why not bravery? Well, Audacity has a specific flavor to it. It's not just being brave. It's a kind of shocking, almost reckless nerve. And boldness captures that feeling perfectly. You see how the method helps you zero in on the most precise answer? It's not just about finding a good enough word. So let's wrap this up. The main takeaway here is that you do not have to be scared of the vocabulary section anymore. You just need to have the right strategy in your back pocket.
So here's what I want you to remember. First, stop trying to memorize the dictionary. It's a waste of time. Start strategizing instead. Second, trust the AKEB method. Use it on every single question. Third, always be on the hunt for those clues we talked about. And finally, you've got to practice. The more you use this method, the faster and more confident you'll get.
Look, with this method, you're not just guessing anymore. You're analyzing, you're decoding. You're basically a word detective. So there's really only one question left to ask. Are you ready to go out there and absolutely crush that vocabulary exam?